and C. Keep your 40 out, just have an Earl Grey tea.
Welcome back on the Good Morning Artesia Radio Show. I'm Gene Dow. We are back talking a little Lady Bulldog and Bulldog soccer today. As coming up later today out at the Mac Chase Complex, we're going to have a boys soccer game and a girls soccer game in the round of 12 of the 2021. I'm going to say, if I can say this without, having to hit the dump button or get a fine from the FCC. The 2021 Fuddruckers Girls Soccer State Championship. Wasn't there a movie that featured Fuddruckers that turned into something else in the future? I think it was Idiocracy.
Oh, that probably, yeah.
Which is a Mike Judge movie. It's a pretty funny movie. But anyway, they are the sponsor for this, and the soccer tournament starts today. And the Lady Bulldogs and the Bulldogs are both in the tournament as for the girls of number 5 seed, for the boys a number 7 seed, which means you get to host your first round games today at 5 o'clock. The boys will play St. Pius. And then following that at 7 o'clock tonight, the girls will be hosting Chaparral. You guys know how they're doing the tickets on that? Can you buy like 2 tickets?
Yeah, I do know.
Okay.
I asked yesterday to make sure.
Okay.
The tickets are going to be just on sale at the gate. It is $5 for everybody. That includes students. There are no passes at all or anything because now that it's state playoffs.
Well, my media pass will work.
There you go. But
other than that,
yes. And so it is. And then if you come into the game, say you come in for the boys' game and want to stay for the girls' game, as long as you don't leave the facility, then you can stay for the price of one ticket. If you do leave to go get dinner or something and come back, you are going to have to pay to get back in.
But we do have a concession.
I was going to say, I bet you have
I was going to say,
so stay for the food.
Do that? No. I plan on doing that myself because I'm going to be there for both games, and I hope a lot of folks are. And we were talking about this during the break, especially for that last boys game Thursday against Portales. I think you played Portales on Thursday. There was a really good crowd there for that game.
Yeah, and the biggest thing that, I'm not going to take the credit for all of it because I probably don't need to take any of the credit for it because my wife and some of the people behind the scenes that are involved with the City League stuff do a really good job of getting it out there and just letting everybody know. We usually do the league night during our game once a year. It just turned out that it ended up being the last game of the season, combined with our senior night, combined with all these different things, and I just think it worked out. It was like the perfect storm that came together for a bunch of people to come out. And I think, honestly, a lot of people are just looking for an opportunity to get out and do something without in an environment where they can have fun and enjoy without, I hate to say this, but without wearing a mask, because outdoors they don't have to wear a mask. Mm-hmm. And it just stinks for the indoor sports where people are having to be policed and and all that stuff. I just feel bad for the volleyball and basketball teams because I think it's going to be, I don't know if it's an issue, but I think that it just kind of stinks because some people don't want to wear a mask, and if they don't want to wear a mask, they're not going to go to those games. And so I would encourage those people that don't want to wear a mask, put a mask on and just go support your teams because it's not fair to the kids. Support them because you don't want to wear a mask.
Well, and you can, there's plenty of room at the soccer complex. You can socially distance from,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You can be right next to the barking guy, or you could be on the other side of the field from the barking guy. There's plenty of room.
Just to give a thank you to Robert, because he's supports so many sports across the board, and he's amazing. He's always out there doing send-offs. He's always out at games, at whichever ones he can be at. And so if there is anybody out there that ever runs into Robert, thank him for what he does because he's an awesome guy. He really is.
No, he really enjoys it, and I think he was one of 3 of us that bought the posters during the spring season. So
that was awesome. It was you and him and somebody else.
That was it. Trying to help out. You really haven't quite had a lot of the crowd show up for any of the girls' games, so it'll be kind of interesting tonight to see if you have.
Hey, but to say that is untrue, because I remember the last time that you had a playoff game because I commentated.
Oh, there was a lot of people.
And there was a lot of people at the last playoff game.
Well, good. I was just kind of referring back to this season because I've seen most of the home games this year, and I'm like you. It's not a hard sport to understand what's going on, so that you can kind of get into it pretty quickly. And
well, the concept's pretty simple.
Yeah.
The aspects of the game can be confusing.
Sure.
Offside is always the one that nobody understands except for the players and the coaches in Artesia. But
well,
we understand
and
hopefully the refs.
And the purpose of the clock, and then the extra time or whatever time, and those are some things that are always kind of interesting to me.
Oh, yeah, the referee's time.
But referee's time. But the purpose is pretty much the same. I mean, your team's trying to put the ball in the net, and they're trying to keep it out of the net or whatever goal. And the one with the most goals at the end of the night wins. But you haven't
Unless you tie.
Which
really throws really hard.
So, all right, you've got a playoff game.
We're done. We tied.
Yeah.
Yeah, we tied. It happens.
Well, no, and that happens in some other sports too. But in the playoffs, how will that be handled tonight? Because somebody has to be a winner to advance.
I got an email explaining that, which I already knew, but it was 2 10 minutes and then penalty kicks.
Okay.
But it'll be sudden death, meaning like whoever scores
on the 10 minutes.
Goal, the overtime is sudden death, like you said, golden goal. So you can start extra time, and then like somebody scored in a minute, and it's over.
Okay.
So it doesn't go through the duration of the overtime. It stops there. But if you do get through the 2 20-minute overtime periods, then there is penalty kicks, and so it's best of 5.
It's best of until you.
Well, yeah. But I mean, it's you'd have 5 shots if you get to that point, but it's whoever has the best after those 5, so you can get to that 5. If you're tied after 5, then it goes to sudden death, penalty kicks, and oh man, that's
what happened to us in Los Alamos earlier this season. Is we went to overtime, and it was the first time that this group of boys have ever been in that situation. And so, like he said, it's supposed to be 5, but I think we went to about 8 or 9 because both goalkeepers. Our goalkeeper and Los Alamos' goalkeepers were just so good at what they were doing, and then everybody was making their shots. So it gets really nerve-wracking once you get past the 5.
Yeah. Well, hopefully there's not a Brett Favre rule in soccer. And he played in the NFL, and the sudden death or overtime in the NFL is first team that scores wins, right?
Right.
But Brett Favre was at the end of his career, and they went to overtime, and the other team kicked a field goal, and Brett Favre never even got to come out and play in the overtime period. Yeah. So they changed the rule.
I didn't know they changed it because of him.
It happened right after this incident. So now in the NFL, if the first team in sudden death gets a field goal, the other team can either tie it or win it with a touchdown. And I call it the Brett Favre rule because
makes sense.
They were all sad because Brett didn't get to come out for one last time. But you don't have that in soccer. You got the sudden death 10 minute first team scores wins, and if you get through those, and then you've got the penalty.
Which we don't want to have to get to, neither one of us.
Nope.
Don't want to get to that.
To finish in 80 minutes.
Let me ask you this: with the addition of the soccer fields out at JC Park, that whole complex that was added, I guess that came online this year. How do you see that helping the high school soccer programs? Do you see that as a benefit?
Talking about the turf out there?
The turf out there and the youth leagues and everything that brings to...
I think it's key. I think it's key because you can look around in our area, and arguably the strongest team in the Southeast is Hobbs, and Hobbs has a phenomenal youth program. So to say that it doesn't make a difference would be teams do that too. And like I said, whenever we finished our game the other night with Coach Reyes over in Lovington, told him, I said, well, it was a good game. We'll see you in the final.
Yeah.
And he said, I think we might. And so
that'd be pretty exciting.
They're arguably a good team. And
yeah. Well, I mean, there's nothing wrong with printing those shirts ahead of time because you want to have them ready, but don't hand them out before the game.
Yeah, that looks
like those. Like what is it? Any NBA championship, and they always have those shirts printed, and they all get shipped over to like Europe and Africa.
They're real popular there. Yeah. But I think in this particular case, they had handed them out a little early, and so it's like, no, don't do that.
Some bad voodoo on
Play
yourself.
The game.
That.
Well, anything else you'd like to add, or words of encouragement? I know we want to encourage as many folks as possible to come out and watch both games today, but
I think it would just be awesome to see just everybody. I mean, even people that haven't been out at our games all year. I mean, this is such an awesome moment for these athletes and just for the unified program of Artesia Soccer. Like, really come out and see what we're about. Like, I mean, we've gotten this point because both Coach Jowers and myself really put pride in really trying to build our program to excellence. And, like, this is finally the payoff, I think, what we're seeing. So it'd be really awesome for everybody to come out and just witness that, be part of it. It's going to be a great moment. And then maybe say, hey, this is something maybe I could see my kids being part of in the future. So just encourage everybody in the community, come out, support us. Love to see you there.
I agree, and I think that, like, to piggyback on what he said, one of the biggest difference just that I've noticed since I've been head coach, and it's one of the things that I've made it a mission with him is, we don't want to see it, obviously, get up a boys and girls team, but we play on the same field, we practice around each other and everything, and it doesn't need to be a boys and girls issue. It needs to be come out and support the Artesia soccer teams. And that's, I think, the big difference. Would you agree that me and him, we spend pretty much all year together, whether it's soccer or tennis, and so having that relationship to be able to support each other and basically get behind each other makes a big difference, I think, and it carries over onto the field with the players as well.
Very good. Coach Tim Trenthen, girls coach, Phillip Jowers, boys coach, thank you so much. I think Aaron Romo's been helping us out with announcing, and he's going to call the games today.
And Turtle as well.
And Turtle's going to help.
Turtle's going to come down. He's just texted me, so.
That's good. I asked Aaron if he was any relation to the former quarterback of the Cowboys, and he said, "Well,"
and put him on the
he said, "If he'd have won a Super Bowl, yes."
Yeah.
But that didn't happen.
He's not quite as tall.
Well, he's done a great job, and Turtle's going to help out. So we're going to put the boys' game will be on the radio and the TV, 5 o'clock. Then after your game is done, we're going to go to the pit for the volleyball game. They're playing Portales. Varsity should be around 6:30 or so right after your game, and then that'll be on radio and TV. And then on the TV, we'll have the soccer game will come on at the beginning of the soccer game, and then as soon as the volleyball game is done, we'll put the back half of your game on the radio as well. So nice. Starting at 5 o'clock today, it's going to be all Bulldog sports here on KSVP, and we're happy to do it. Looking forward to it.
Awesome. Yep. Thank you guys for.
I just said a poem. I didn't realize I'm crazy.
A haiku.
Yeah. Stop messing with that. All right. Thanks a lot, and we'll see you guys this afternoon.